welcome, my good people. Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational speaker, confidence coach, and business coach. My goal is to empower you to elevate your career, your life, your business, just overall well being. This podcast is designed not only to give you practical strategies to grow, but you're going to hear from other people to share their stories on how they overcome adversity through transformation, resilience, innovation, building confidence, connections, as well as entrepreneurship. I'm excited because, as you guys know, I bring a new guest every single week. And so, if you've been rocking with me, thank you. But if you haven't, and this is your first time joining, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Convicted to Grow. Okay. And let's go ahead and get started. So, this guy, what can I say before I give you his name? He's a motivational speaker. He's he's still an athlete because he still play sports. He's also a performance coach that helps athletes perform better. He's a mindset coach. He's also a veteran. He's an advocate for the veterans. He's a CEO of D.E.B.O Inspires LLC. He's just recently became a father, as well as, and I can't forget this, he's also a friend. He's my friend. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, Debo Brown.
What's happening? What's
Hey,
happening?
friend.
What up? What up? We here. We here. How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm good. Listen, be yourself. Be yourself.
Oh, come on. You know me. You know me. You already know I'm here to kick it. We're gonna have a good time.
Debo is, let me just go ahead and give you your flowers real quick. I met him last year. It's crazy because y'all gonna
Hmm.
be like, dang, every guest she meeting at the conference. But it just so happened the stars are aligning, right? And
Yep.
uh, we'll talk about that later about the importance of community. But I met Debo last year at the Next Level Speakers Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, in June of last year. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to the Next Level Speakers community.
Hmm.
When I tell you a dope community that genuinely want to see you win, that genuinely want to see you grow, of other like-minded speakers that are doing the daggone thing. And so that's how I met him at the conference. And one of the things that I did was I make great connections. And to this day, as you can see, based on the guests that I've been bringing, and not everybody's going to come from the conference, but as you can see, some of the people that's been coming here to interview have been from the conference. What I will say about Debo, I mean, dang, I don't want to call you my little brother because you ain't that little, but I say fam, my fam.
That's it. We
Um,
family.
I will say with Debo, I want to give you flowers because I did connect with a lot of people from the conference, but I think for you, me and you stayed in touch the most in
Yeah.
terms of the accountability. And we'll talk about that too, the importance of having an accountability partner or someone that's checking in. And what I like about him was every now and then when I would get quiet, y'all, he would check, yo, what you doing? What you doing? I ain't heard from you in a while. And so I do appreciate that because it was kind of like, oh, you moving the needle down there in North Carolina? Well, hell, let me move the needle down here and up here in Maryland. So
Yeah.
thank you once again for being a part. I appreciate you.
Oh, no, for sure. I appreciate you because you kept me on task too now. Especially, I call you the social media queen. I hate that social media now, so you keeping me accountable right there too. So I appreciate you.
Well, hey, listen, you know how we do. But let's just go ahead and get into it. So tell the listeners out there, quick, brief overview of your background.
Yeah, so for all of you who don't know me, like she said, my name is Debo Brown. I know what y'all probably thinking, Debo, you see 6'7", 220 pounds from Friday. Nah, that ain't me. I'm 5'7", 125 pounds soaking wet on a good day, you know what I'm saying? So I grew up in a small town called Evergreen, North Carolina. You could blink that quick and you ride right through my town. So I grew up with four siblings, three brothers and one sister. I have eight total I've just connected with recently in the last few years. So it feels good to finally get to know your people that you haven't grown up with. I was raised by my grandmother because my mother was working 7 days a week to try to take care of 4 kids. So she was in my life, but she wasn't in my life because she had to do her mother duties, and I love her to death for that. Played baseball all through my life. That was my calling right there. I should have been playing in the MLB, but things happen, and sometimes you get another dream to replace a dream you once had. Played baseball all through the college level, and then after I finished playing baseball, I joined the military. So I joined the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps kind of saved my life. It made me into the man I started to become the man I am today. Gave me some few principles right there. So I got roughly between Marine Corps time and then working for the U.S. government. I got about 12 years there, and then once I got out, the rest was history. I'm here now, forming who I am, raising my own business, and I'm a newborn father, and that has been a whole task all on itself. My son is 3 months old now, and I swear all he do is laugh all the time. It's a pleasure to get to spend time with him. I'm just trying to make sure that he knows he had a father in his life because I didn't have that. So, and that's your boy.
Wow, wow. Well, first of all, thank you for your service. I
My
I, I
pleasure.
didn't I didn't make it past ROTC, you know.
Hey, I never went to ROTC, so hey, this was yeah, I never went. It was like coming home from work one day. Hey, mom, I'm about to join the army. You know what I'm saying? And then I went through the whole process, and I ended up joining the Marine Corps.
Well, thank you for that brief introduction. And so we'll go ahead and get into the meat of the conversation, like I asked every guest.
Mhm.
So, kind of give me, share your story, your resilience story of how you gotten to where you are today in terms of overcoming adversity, your convicted to grow moment when you realize like it's so much better for me than where I am now.
Yeah, so and I'm gonna get into how I ended up joining the Marine Corps too in this. So
Okay, okay.
yeah, for sure. So like I said, I didn't have a father growing up. So my hardest thing was making sure I didn't end up being like him. My father was serving time in and out of prison. He was doing whatever he had to do. So and I fought tooth and nails not to be like him. That was on that same path to be like him. So I just wasn't disciplined in my decision making growing up. And playing baseball was that one key element. I was like, all right, this is going to take me out of here. It's going to take my family out of here. And the problem for me was, like I said, I wasn't disciplined in my decision making. That when I'm on the baseball field, I was doing everything right. I was doing the right thing as long as my coaches were there, my friends were there. But when I got off that field and I go back out into the streets, that's where everything was different. I didn't have that support and cast to say, you shouldn't be doing this. And what happened was I got a full ride scholarship to play baseball, but I lost it before I even stepped foot onto the college campus because I ended up breaking to somebody home and I stole from them. So that landed me in jail, which led me to lose my baseball scholarship. So once I got out, I was like, okay, I got to do something. I got to do something. My grandmother always told me I'll be dead or in jail by the time I was 18. And when I went to jail, she always said, don't call me. But the first person I called was my grandmother. Actually, no, I take that back. I was calling some of my friends that I was hanging with, and nobody answered the phone. And what was crazy was the officer at the time who would let me get the phone call, he said, if you're calling your friends, they're not going to pick up. I just want to let you know that. And I was like, man, I got to break down and do something I don't want to do. So I called my grandmother, man, and she answered the phone. And of course, she gave me the blues and didn't want to hear it. And as I was sitting in this cell, I was in there with a deacon, and the deacon was in there for embezzlement, right? And I was probably about 6 or 7 o'clock. I was like, oh man, I'm not getting out of here. And he was hosting a Bible study. And I always hear all the time, people find Christ once they go to jail. So I'm like, all right, let me get in here. This could be a start to turn my life around. And as I'm in the middle of this Bible study, a tear ran down my eye, and I'm in here crying. I'm like, man, I'm a grown man where everybody act like I'm not afraid to go to jail. I go to jail, I can handle it. But I'm telling you, man, it's not for me. So as I'm in the middle of this Bible study and I start crying, I had the officer come and tell me that I made bail. And the crazy part was, I'm gonna give y'all something that nobody knows. He was like, Michael Brown. And everybody looked around. Even I looked around. I was like, oh, that's me. You know what I'm saying? That's me, because Michael is my first name. That's my government name. So I never get called that. And I was like, he said, hey, you made bail. And man, so I got out and I just seen the looks on my mother, my uncle face. And it was like, I've let them down. And so that's what led me to joining the Marine Corps. But I was coming home from work one night and I told my mom, I said, look, I got to do something different because if I don't change my environment, I'm going to be back in the same position that I was just in. So I tried to join the Army, but I was on probation at the time.
Mhm.
And they wanted me to wait 90 days after I got off probation. I said, bro, I can't do that because I ain't going to make it. I got to go. I tried to join the Air Force. They wanted me to wait 60 days after probation. And I said, I can't do it. And then my uncle's wife's daughter, husband, was a Marine Corps recruiter. And he drove 2.5 hours just to talk to me, didn't care whether I wanted to join or not, just to talk to me. And then, man, just by him doing that, it was like, okay, I got to go there. So he helped me get off probation. He wrote letters to my probation officer. He wrote letters to the judge. My uncle, I borrowed the money from my uncle to pay my probation fees. And within 60 days, I was out of there. I just wanted to make sure I stayed home during Christmas to see my family. I said, but I got to be gone before the new year because them New Year parties. Oh man, we go out there, we get crazy. So I had to get out of there for the new year, and then that's how I ended up joining the Marine Corps. And then, man, I had a time. I traveled, and the Marine Corps broke me because I can deal with a lot. I can deal with a lot of yelling in your face and stuff like that, but just breaking you down to test your character
Mhm.
because I've cheated my way through life. That's what I did. I've always stole. I was stealing. I was robbing. I was cheating. I've cheated my way through life, and it humbled me as a man, where it tested my character. And man, I can never thank stepping foot on Paris Island. That changed my life. And then I got out the military, and I just wanted to do something better. I wanted to do something better, and now I'm here.
Wow. Oh my God. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Look at God. Listen,
Oh
I
yeah.
see that, when you are anointed and appointed, that God will put people like guardian angels and sponsors in your life. Of all people, you in the same
Yeah.
cell with the deacon.
With the deacon. With the deacon. I'm telling you, it was like I was just sitting there, and I remember because when I walked in, my cousin was in there, and he was like, I didn't know he was my cousin because I don't know a lot of my family, but I walked in, he said, "What are you doing in here?" I said, "I messed up," and he know it's me because he got all my baseball clippings. I'm in the newspaper, like he's pulling these out, showing me. He said, "Man, you supposed to be playing ball. You supposed to be doing this." I said, "Man, I made a mistake." And yeah, the deacon was there, man, and he told his story how he was embezzling money, and it's crazy how that worked out. It's crazy. He popped that Bible open, and we was talking. I'm sitting there boo-hooing like a little boy. I'm boo-hoo crying, man, and then it was such amazing to hear my name called because growing up, I was always in the church, but that's because your parents, your grandmother have you in church.
Uh-huh.
And as you get older, I'm not gonna say we always stray away, but we start smelling ourselves. Oh, I got it. So you don't kind of pull away from the man above a little bit, but he finds a way to humble you real quick. I tell you that. He finds a way to humble you and bring you back home. Because I was chasing cars, money, and women. That was it. Anything I can do to oppress somebody, that was me. I was doing everything in life for the likeness of somebody else, and he found a way to bring me back.
You know, I know you the now. I know the now, Debo.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't I would never know, you had went through that, you were like that. And that's why they always say, don't let nobody define you where they met you.
Hmm.
People change, people evolve, people grow, people are convicted to growing, convicted to changing for so many reasons. And so the fact that you went through that, I mean, like you said, the military humbled you you know, um, you seem like you had that love and passion for baseball. So hadn't you not got in trouble or, got, let's say, hanging with the wrong crowd, could you have seen yourself the vision of being in a major league team?
Yes, the crazy thing, I had it set in stone. I had it planned out. I was connected with the right people to get me there. I could have been playing. I'm not gonna say I might have been playing in the MLB with the Atlanta Braves, but I actually had it set up where I could have had tryouts with their minor league team. So me getting there with that was the easy part. I'm not gonna lie to you, like that's one thing I knew I can go to sleep and I knew I had that in me. But it was just everything else. I just wasn't. I didn't have that figure in my life to say, hey, you can't make these decisions. I've learned everything the hard way, all the way up to now, and I'm still learning. Like I'm still learning to this day, everything the hard way. Still, it's just those failures are nothing but lessons at this point. So like I found a lot of people say, "Oh, I'm scared to make a mistake." Like I don't make mistakes. I found 100 ways where it don't work. So that's how it is. Like quit being afraid. Just you just find 100 ways that don't work, and then you find out one way that just won't work. So, but yeah, I had it. I had it set in stone. All I had to do was stay the course. But I took that right turn, and I let a lot of people down too. What's crazy is one of my best friends played baseball with him. Me and him was on that same team, and we talked probably about 2 months ago. I connected with him, and he we had a talk, and I swear this dude started crying. He said, "Man, I've been holding this in for the longest time, bro." He said, "You hurt my feelings, man, because we both were connected with the same people, and by me, getting in trouble hanging in the streets, and me and him were that tight that he said it broke him down so much that he quit playing. So I feel like I hurt his chances of making it too because." All I had to do was just stay the course, and he was my right hand going to play too. So, yeah, I let a lot of people down. I burn a lot of bridges. It's crazy how it works out. So now, I try to just do right by people, and God don't make mistakes. He don't make
That,
mistakes.
that
But
part.
yeah, y'all could have been seeing Brown 24 somewhere on ESPN, but now y'all be watching me on another type of ESPN, my speaker ESPN. You know what I mean?
Yes. And you know what's crazy? Had you had went to in the MLB, I wouldn't have known you.
Nope. I will not met some of the most amazing people I've met
I
now.
wouldn't have
Nope.
known you at all. Like I said, they Jeremiah 29:11. What they say for God knows the plans He has for us.
Yep.
And I'm paraphrasing y'all, so don't come at me.
Well, I know the plans that I have. He knows the plans that he has for us. Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite ones.
Yes, to give us a hope in
Yep.
the future, not to harm
Oh
us.
yeah.
Come on now. Yes, but wow, thank you for sharing it because it has made you the man that you are today.
Hmm.
Um, I'm I came into your life meeting you last year in the conference as a speaker, and I'm pretty sure just based on experiences, because they say facts tell, stories sell. Uh,
Hmm.
when did you realize I got a voice? I can speak, I can coach. Like, when did you realize that?
Man, it's crazy because I love teaching for one thing. Like just by my athletic background, I love teaching the game of baseball. Even me being in leadership for 16 years, like I love teaching. And teaching is what I can do. I can show if I know how to do it, I can show somebody how to do it. And I love giving that nugget to any and everybody. I was on my way from work one day. No, I was on my way to work one day. And the day before I was just talking to some guys at work. I'm like, man, this road that I take to work, man, it's crazy. People always get into an accident. And then the following morning, I got into a three-car accident, right? It was a car that was driving and somehow he missed his turn and tried to get over the wrong way. And we all ended up going into the back of each other. And I hit one of these light trucks. And the truck back went into the hood of my car, right? And as I'm sitting there saying, like, man, why me? What am I doing wrong? And it hit me because I started listening to ET, of course, just something motivational. That's why I started like listening to on my way to work. And this one right here was actual ET one that I was listening to. And ET always talk about him being homeless. He always telling his story. And I'm saying to myself, that's what I should be doing. I'm always talking to people and trying to help people how to do something. So why can't I do this? And that's when the light switched. I said, you know what? I'm about to pursue this. So
Mhm.
it wasn't no moment where I was talking to somebody. And I said I can do this. It was me getting into that accident because I felt like I was almost on a downward spiral. Life wasn't going the way I wanted to, and me just sitting there, just like, man, like, there's another calling. There's something else I should be doing. And from that moment on, after hitting that car, and the crazy part was the driver was like, "Hey man, I'm willing to tell the officer that it is not your fault. It was everything." He said, "Even if you want to drive away right now, I'm good." I said, "No, no, no, we okay, man. And it's all right. Everything's straight. I just want to make sure y'all good." He said, "You see this big old truck? I'm fine. You see your car?" And as I'm just sitting there waiting on this officer to show up, and that's when it hit me where I was like, you know what? there's something else I should be doing. And I started pursuing it. And man, it's a process, it's a journey, and I enjoy the process because I'm tackling into an environment that I know nothing about, and it's challenging me on so many levels. It's pulling me so many different ways. I met so many people, and the best thing that I love about it is it's making me to become the person that I'm supposed to be, whether I want to or not. It's
Right.
making me become the person that I want to be, and that's how I know I should be a speaker.
I see your background. I see you got the UOU book back there.
Oh
I
yeah,
see
for
you
sure.
reading back and
Yeah. That reading is paramount. A lot of people don't like to read, and I hate reading. I can count, I can add, I can do all that. I'm quick with them digits now. I love counting them green dollars, but when it came to reading and getting information, I hated it. But man, you'd be amazed at what just reading.
yes.
But
And
don't
feeding
just
your
read.
mind.
Don't just read to say you read the book. Read it, attain it, and apply it. Once you start applying it, then say you read the book. Because people like to have. I see a lot of bookshelves with 100 books on there. Nah. I can get 4 or 5 books, and for
Right.
me, if I don't like it, I'm not gonna keep reading. It got to attract me. So
Yeah.
read it and apply it, man. And it helps you because I don't have a big vocabulary, and some of these books I help me understand. Oh man, I can say something else this way. So, oh yeah, I'm getting my reading on, but I read by people who I feel like have inspired me a little bit too in my life as well.
Yeah. And shout out to E.T. You may know him as E.T., E.T. the hip hop preacher, Dr. Eric Thomas. Like,
Hmm.
I've been rocking with E.T. since he had the Game Changer speaker program, where I became one of the certified speakers in his program, and then the 120 conference, and then when he merged over with Jeremy in the next level. But
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I gotta give shout out to him because ET was the one. Like, I need, you got different motivational speakers out there. You got some that are they're calm for the storm. You got the Joel Osteens of the world.
Oh
Look at
yeah.
I'm gonna say neighbor. You got that type. But ET, I felt like I needed him. A lot of people can't take his yelling. You
Nah, they can't take it.
know, they can't
They
take.
can't take it.
But I remember when I was going through just my time of grief and sadness, and I would walk the park, he'd be in my ear, and I felt like he yelling at me. But I
Hmm.
needed that. I needed that type with Coach.
Yep. What attracted me to him was one, I had a lot of that yelling growing up because I was a bad one for my mother. Like me and my mother went at it. Me and my mother went at it growing up, but it was because of me and my decision making. She out there working as hard as she can to try to provide for us. I had everything I needed. I just didn't have everything I wanted. So
Mm,
I tried to go out there and get everything I wanted. And man, she was all, oh my God, she gave me so much devil. Man, so the yelling part was like I was used to it. And ET reminded me of when I went to boot camp, them drill instructors yelling in your face and breaking you down. And that's what I thought about. I was like, man, this dude is really testing my character right now because he been doing it 30 years and he's saying some stuff that we don't usually hear. And then when ET, then it came Inky. And man, Inky was, I said, I love Inky's story because he got that sports story. And I'm
mm.
very big in the sports. So man, it was crazy. ET went from Inky to Jeremy to now it's all the way down to the late great Miles Monroe. Like
Yes.
it's crazy how one guy transfer you. It's the transfer of energy, the laws of attraction.
But it's all about how we feed our mind. Think about
Yes.
that. Like yeah, it's all about how you feed your mind, how you command your day, and things like that. So yeah, shout out to ET. But that's awesome that you saw your voice just by it wasn't a tragic situation, but it was just like like dang a roadblock. You was in an
Yeah.
accident that you was like dang,
Yep.
and it's crazy because sometimes God will shake things up a little bit. He has to get you uncomfortable to realize again. He knows the plans. We don't see it.
Hmm.
We thinking we going this way, this way, this way. But sometimes God got to shift and pivot us in a new direction, and sometimes He got to shake you up to get your
Yep.
attention. And
For
so for
sure.
you to have now that you're a speaker, let's talk about it. D.E.B.O Inspires LLC. Like, let's talk about that for a minute. The entrepreneurship side, because see, a lot of people want to like we're both speakers. We both have our own
Hmm.
companies, and a lot of times, people want to do the same thing, but they're afraid. They're afraid
Oh
to make
yeah.
a leap. They're afraid to believe in their vision because maybe the people around them are not pouring into them. But
Hmm.
me and you could say community is everything. It was the community that
Crazy.
pushed us to move the needle. It was the
It's
community that,
crazy.
like, what you doing this? Let me go ahead and get my LLC. Let me get convicted to growth coaching LLC. Let's get Debo Inspires LLC. So when talk about that Debo Inspires, that when you said, I got to get this LLC. What's the mission? What is your ultimate mission and vision of Debo Inspires LLC?
So D.E.B.O Inspires LLC is pretty much a brand of, for one, is my name, but also D.E.B.O stands for four principles, four guiding principles that I struggled with growing up that now I try to instill to especially athletes, student athletes, and veterans, because those are the two highlights of my lives where it
Mm.
was up and down, good days and bad days. And D.E.B.O stands for discipline, execute, brave, and overcome. And just like you said, people are afraid to get into entrepreneurship or chase their dream. And for me, I was afraid too, because I always thought, man, I'm gonna get up there and speak to someone who knew the things that I've done in my past. Like they'll call me a fraud. Who want to listen to someone who was out there stealing and robbing, old women at the ATM store or breaking into, people homes and stuff like that. But it's not for me, because there's somebody out there right now going through what I went through that can hear my story and it
Mm.
can change their lives. So that's one thing I would tell everybody. So whatever you're trying to do, it's not for you. It's for everybody else that's going through what you went through, no
Right.
matter what it is. And man, so I look to, especially in the student athlete sector, because there's a gap there. One thing is, a lot of students, they come from broken homes. So I didn't have somebody like me coming to my school to speak to me, to give me life, to show me how to succeed, to give me four guiding principles on how to succeed on the baseball field, the football field, the basketball court, in school and at home. So I look to instill those four principles in student athletes to help them understand, like, you can do this. I know it's hard, it's gonna be rough. And one thing that I try to tell them is that, listen, adversity is coming. There's no way shying away from it. You can't shout, it's gonna come. But how you respond to it is gonna make you to who you need to be. And there's a gap in the veteran side. And I'll tell anybody this: being in the military, man, that's easy. That is the easiest part in the world. To me, I don't care what nobody say, that's the easy part. But what they don't prepare you for is getting out.
Mm.
That's when the real trials and tribulations come, because I'll just say, for me, I got out thinking, man, I done did all this time. I'm gonna get the highest paying job. Nope. I was washing dishes. I was washing
How many years,
dishes.
how many years was you in the military?
I got 12 total. 12
12
total,
years.
12 total between military time and then working for the government as a contractor.
Right, right.
12 years total. I got all this government time. And then I'm thinking I'm going to get one of the top highest paid jobs, and now I hit you in the face real quick. Nope. I started out washing dishes. I started out working, cutting people power off and on in the rain, sleet, in the cold, snow, working outside. So I'm just here to tell them, like, look, it's going to happen to some of us. We got to start from the bottom and build back up. The mental side, the
Mm.
mindset is crazy. Suicide is the number one cause of death for veterans getting out. Suicide and homeless are the two things, because we are not prepared for what's about to happen in the real world. We aren't prepared. And the fact that I went through it, I mean, a lot of people don't know it. I don't talk about it a lot, but I tried to commit suicide as a veteran at one point in time, because I was a bad alcoholic. I drank and drove all the time. And a lot of us are afraid to get help, because we always talk ibuprofen and water. Ibuprofen and water. It's going to be okay. And when we get out, I'm here to tell y'all, it's not going to be okay all the time. And we have to have that mindset to shift from what was to what is. And that's what I aim to do with D.E.B.O Inspires, man, to reach the hearts and minds and to get the mental mindset of student athletes and also veterans, because there's a gap there on both sides. And that's what I aim to do. I got to tap into that, because, man, I get tired of seeing student athletes fail, don't graduate, drop out of school, lose scholarships, quit their dream. And I hate seeing veterans take their lives because they're just not mentally prepared for what's going on. And
Man,
that's what D.E.B.O Inspire stand for.
you just gave me chill bumps. Oh my gosh.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy.
I'm just your passion of talk, hearing your voice. I hear the passion, and you have the best of both worlds. You have the students and you have veterans. And what
Yes.
you're saying is, I'm not gonna just limit myself. Like, if God is telling you right now, listen, don't limit yourself. Because I know some people be like, niche it down, niche it down, niche it down. But I think, like you said, as long as we hear on God green earth and you got the ability and the capacity,
Mm-hmm.
yes, put yourself where you see yourself at these colleges, speaking to these students, these high schools, speaking to these students about the
Yes.
straight and narrow, so they not, having to make the dumbest decisions and not go to college. These veterans, I'm in the corporate space, and me, you've had offline conversations about
Mm-hmm.
these corporations. Listen, y'all, let me tell you, let me look at me in the camera. I'm telling you guys, listen, if you're looking for a speaker, especially let me talk to the corporations out there right now. If you're looking for a speaker or coach to come in and talk to your veterans on because it is a mindset. Because I
Mm-hmm.
can say for me, I have 25 years in leadership. I have 25 years in staffing and recruiting. And one of the things, especially in the government contracting space, and as we recruit veterans, because a lot of companies want that veteran hiring, I'm gonna tell you right now, and people can relate to me. Veterans are a little bit different. It's sometimes it's a culture shock. It's a culture shock.
Yes.
And I will say this though, 99.9% veterans that I hire. One thing I want to commend you guys. You guys are so disciplined. You show up on time. I don't think I ever had a
Mm-hmm.
veteran had a tardy problem because you've been instilled in the military of that whole showing up, being there when you're supposed to be there. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but that's what I see. I see the structure. I see the discipline. But I see the lack of, like you said, you could speak more about this when you went into the civilian world. It's sometimes a culture shock in terms of, like, talk about that a little bit, because I want companies to understand that your job is to come in and help change the mindset of veterans, that they too matter, that they too are just as smart as civilians.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like, dang, I done went 20 years in the military. Why I feel like I'm starting from the bottom. You starting back from the bottom, and sometimes you got to work your way up. But talk a little bit about that for veterans who are feeling discouraged, where they like, dang, I want to get paid good, and I just want to do good at my job, because that's the end of the day. They want to do good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And I was the same way. So when I was coming out, the program may have gotten a little better then, but coming out, all I got was, I went through the resume writing course and how to get your resume right, how to apply for jobs, and all of the corporate side of everything. But nobody there said anything to me about my mental state. They never said anything about it's going to be hard. You may not get the job you want. It was like, oh yeah, you're gonna be a veteran. People are gonna be happy to hire you. You're gonna get all these veteran points. Everything is gonna be fine. That I did like so the mental side was tough. And for me, I got out thinking, man, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me mentally. There's nothing wrong with me physically. So one thing that I would tell every veteran now, get help. We hear so much on the news and so much on TV. And yes, I know. That's one thing I would tell everybody. I got a little inside scoop because I worked at the VA for 4 years after I got out. Before I started doing, everything. I worked at the VA for 4 years. So I got a little scoop because yes, it's packed. Yes, wait times are long, but you got to remember this too. There are a lot of veterans that need to be seen. And one thing that I met two World War II vets, I believe, that came in, um, they don't get any help. They didn't get none of this of what we have now. So just think about all the veterans that came before us that didn't even have the amount of access to VAs, and unemployment offices for veterans only. There's a section in there that works for veterans only that helps them get jobs. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be rugged, and you have to just be prepared because adversity is going to come, and how we respond to it is going to get us on the other side. And it's okay if you have to start back from the bottom. It's okay. Just look at it. So what I had to start doing is looking at it as, okay, I just joined the military again. I had to go from private E1 to E2 to E3 to E. You got to work your way back up, and it's hard because with our work ethic, it's going to happen. That we're going to go in there, we're going to show up and show out, and like you said, we're going to be on target. All of that's going to happen. That's like we wake up, and we good on that part there. But just being prepared because, man, I got to commend my best friend Crystal on this. She was working at the VA one time, and it took me 2 years just to go in and finally get an appointment set. And the amount of benefits are there to help veterans that we just don't know about is crazy. From me just going in to just getting my checkup finally, because somebody said, "Man, you just need to go to the VA." I didn't know anything about a VA pension, VA disability. The VA paid for my schooling after that. So they pay for your school. They helped me get a job. Now I see mental health all the time. I'm getting my mental in place. So there are things out there for us that all we know is when we in. I just want them to know, man, that it's going to be okay. Your life do matter. Find that why and stick to it. You got to find your why. Suicide is not the answer. Suicide is not the answer. So there's a group of people who works in the VA to help homeless vets. Just go in and get help, but just don't go in and get help just to say you got the help. You got to apply what they are giving us. That's another thing too. Do the work. It took me. I'm still doing the work. I'm still doing the work right now. But it took me about 4 years to kind of realize, like, man, if I would have known this, when I first got out, I might have been well off. You know what I'm saying? I might have not ruined so many relationships because I wasn't mentally stable at the time. I never forget it. I lost a $200,000 a year job because of my attitude, because I didn't know how to talk to someone, a civilian. You know what I mean? So like there's things that I've encountered that I'm like, man, if I just would have had this, I might have would have made this move or made that move. Maybe things would have been, moving forward. But now I'm like, why me? I'm glad it happened to me because now I can show everybody else how not to do it. If there's nobody doing it, why don't you do it? So that's how I look at it now. So there's no more why me. I say, why me? Why not you? So that's it. If not me, then who?
Right. See, corporations, you guys, you heard it here first. Book him as a speaker, book him as a coach. He can come into your organization and really talk to these veterans. And even veterans out there, maybe you guys are looking for one-on-one coaching or looking for someone that you can tap into. I encourage you to tap into D.E.B.O Inspires, and I'm gonna put his information in the description as well as on the screen. So make sure you are following him because he got some valuable information, as the veterans. So please, please, please tap in. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to say, you know what? I need to tap into somebody who's overcome something because I'm trying to get to where they are. So you never know, veterans. You could be the next speaker. You could be the next speaker. D.E.B.O Inspires could be the team.
Let's go.
Listen, we manifesting D.E.B.O Inspires. You planted the seed last year. You put the name out there. You're executing this year. Who's to say a year from now you got 4 or 5 speakers under you that's going out and just speaking under the D.E.B.O program because now you got a curriculum. Like we put that in the atmosphere.
Let's go.
We
Come
put
on
that
now.
in the atmosphere. Y'all heard it here
all
first.
day.
Y'all heard it here first. Now let me just shift over to my educators. I done gave the corporations a little bit of D.E.B.O on the veteran side. So now I gotta shift over to my educators. I ain't forgot about y'all because y'all heard him first. He said he also have a passion for student athletes, to making sure that one, they tap into know how great they are.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of gifted and talented students out there that can really truly take their gifts to the next level, that will take them out the environment they're in, that they can set forth financially for them and even their family, their parents or whatever. And so to my educators, like D.E.B.O, speak a little bit about that in terms of your goal, your vision in terms of the student athletes. I know I've seen you based on your content. You have been speaking at schools. And the one thing I will say about D.E.B.O, I've seen him talk to the little itty bitties, the little 5, 6-year-olds, the 7 and 8 years old. I think recently he was talking to middle schools. And matter of fact, I remember over the summer or a couple months ago, you was at the college talking to the graduates of the college. So He ain't got no age limit, y'all. Like they said, train up a child as they should go. So educators, listen, you need somebody. He has a D.E.B.O curriculum, and I definitely encourage you. I mean, he will travel. Look, I'm putting it out there. He will travel, but I encourage you to book him to come in and speak to your student athletes. So talk a little bit about that real quick.
Yeah, man, I definitely need to let these students, these kids, our babies, the next generation. That's our next generation. Are going to be the future leaders of this world. One thing I try to, for one, education matters. Get that education. But what we also have to realize is that some of these athletes, some of these students, they're going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, you have to be able to tap into them, not just only on the academic side. Ask them how their parents are doing, ask them how things are going at home. You'll be amazed how much they will tell you that they could, it's like a cry for help. It's hard for some of these students to go in where, like I said, I came from a broken home. So it's many times where I'm out in the streets instead of doing my schoolwork. But if somebody would have just came in to kind of say, hey, this is what I did, I did the same thing you were doing, maybe it could have shifted my mindset. Okay, boom. I got to stop that. I need to focus on school. I need to help. I'm here to help them understand, one, what do you want to be when you grow up? Two, how are you going to get there? Because one, you got to finish school.
Mm-hmm.
You got to finish school. And two, I'm here to show you what I've done, what caused me not to reach my goal. And I'm here to help you with four principles. And not just, you can take these four and but there's so many, but I'm telling you these four that can help you not only in school, not only on the field, but it's going to help you in the long run. So when it gets time to reach your goal, you will always stick to these four. You got to be disciplined. You got to get to school. You got to do your schoolwork. Show up to practice on time. Take your test, study on time. You got to execute. For some of us, it's changed our environment. That was the biggest one for me. You got to change your environment. And I look at it like this right here. And I wish I can demonstrate it, but let's say I got 5 people around me holding hands, right? So if I say, hey, let's go steal from over here, I'm in the middle, all 5 people rolling with me. Hey, let's go break into this house. All 5 people rolling with me. So now we're all in one set, one mind doing the same thing. But when your mindset shifts and you say, okay, I can't do this anymore. Now, if I say, hey, man, let's go to the library, or hey, let's go to practice, I'm going that way, but they're standing still, so I can't break that barrier. I can't break their hands. So when you push through, you leave them in behind. Because one thing I always say, your real friends are the ones who want to see you succeed in life. So don't be afraid to cut people off. It's cutoff season. It's
So
cutoff season. You know what I'm saying? It is cutoff season. If they are not helping you elevate, if they're not speaking life into you, if they're not helping you reach your goals, it's cutoff season. And don't look back. And you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. I tell you what, you want to know who your real friend, you want to know who your real friends are, tell them no. And then watch that reaction. Tell them
woo.
no
Mm.
and watch that reaction. So, and that's how you execute and then be brave. Face those fears. It's okay to tell these people no. It's okay. It's okay to step into a new environment. It's okay to go to school every day and take this test. Don't be afraid to fail the test. It's going to happen. I failed so many tests. You'll get to take another test. It's okay. And then overcome. Adversity is coming. You're gonna fail a test. You're gonna lose some games. You be going through stuff at home. But I'm here to show them that we have to help these babies get their mental mindset in place where they can. I'm not saying they're gonna always attack every point of adversity the same way, but they know how to handle it and manage it mentally. And then you'll be amazed at what you see come out of these kids. Man, some of these babies, some of these kids, man, I keep calling them babies, but that's what they are, especially the little itty bitty ones, man. Like they want to do so much in life, but they don't have someone speaking life into them. And you never know. I could come in and tell them my story. It took me 16 years after I graduated to get my degree. And I'm here to help them. They're on a fast track. I'm here to help because now you got early college. They can get it done right when they get out of high school. So I'm here to help them understand, like, look, man, education is the key. And these educators out there, you got to tap into not only on the education side, but tap into them mentally too. You got to work with them. So we got to get these babies on. So like I said, they're gonna be the ones leading our world here at some point. Somebody gonna be the next president. Somebody gonna be the next president, right? So we
Yes.
got to tap into them so they understand Debo told me when I was coming through high school, I'm the president now, how to manage this adversity that's coming. So then
Yes,
that's what we got to do, man.
yes. And listen, y'all. Oh man. He said discipline, execute, brave, overcome. Let me tell y'all something right now. You don't have to be a veteran or a student.
Mm-mm.
Take those four principles. Look, he hit pause right now. Just hit pause. Go get you a notebook and write this down. Because I'm telling y'all, he just gave y'all the cheat code of being a better
Yep.
version of yourself. Being disciplined. Having that disciplined mindset to say, you know what, in order for me to expect change, I gotta do this. Being disciplined. I gotta sacrifice. I can't go out every weekend and turn up. I gotta
Mm-hmm.
separate myself because I'm in my 40s and I'm still trying to figure out life, but yet still I want to act like I'm in my 20s. Let me stop. See, I done
Oh
had a
yeah, come on.
had a
You had a
moment.
moment now.
Listen, I'm in my 40s, and I'm just saying, like, when you get older, as you know better, you should do better. But let's keep it real.
Right.
Even when we know better, some of us still don't do better.
Exactly. That's
Because
true.
why? We flesh, we human, we still want to do things our way, but you want to complain because you not at the level you are monetary. You're not at the level are in your career or your job or in your business, or you trying to figure out, God, why me? Why I ain't got there yet? Well, you ain't moved a freaking needle yet. You have
Mm-hmm.
not moved a freaking needle. Sometimes you got to say, you know what? I got to be disciplined and I got to cut some people. He just said, y'all, snip, snip, cut them loose. Then you got to execute. Too much is given, much is required. Okay. Too much is given, much is required. My goal this year said more in 2024. In order to expect more, I gotta freaking do more.
Mm-hmm.
Brave. Be brave enough to say, you know what? I can't go with what they doing. I can't keep being the one that gotta be people pleasing and worry about what they're. Sometimes I gotta separate myself. I gotta be brave enough to separate myself, even if it means I gotta isolate myself for a season. Because you ready for this? Sometimes that season of isolation is propelling you for your elevation. And sometimes that cry out is preparing you for your breakout, and that setback is preparing you for your comeback. So
Come
be
on,
brave
coach.
enough to stand out from the crowd. And last but not least, overcome. After all you've endured, after all you've been through, you still standing 10 toes down, standing on business. Why? Because you overcome some things. Nobody can write your story. Nobody can tell you what you should be doing. You know
Mm-hmm.
what you went through. And so that's the D.E.B.O. Look, I'm putting it in my own thing. But listen, I done had a moment. I done had a
Come
moment.
on now. That's what it does to you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do. That's what I do for
And
you,
you
man.
and you wear, listen, y'all see this? He wearing on his, he got the apparel.
Oh yeah, come on. Come on now. That's my logo. Check me out. Check
Entrepreneurs,
me out.
be the brand, be the brand. I told him today, I said, you need to start selling merch.
I got you.
You need
It's
to
in the,
start
it's in the process.
realize the hat too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Come on now. Come on.
Oh,
I ain't playing with it. I
I
ain't playing
mean,
with it.
well, I mean, you have really taken us for a ride today, and I really do
Oh yeah.
appreciate that. And I will say this: I have three questions, and I'll leave you at this. At the end of the day, what is your why? Why are you like? Some people be like, you doing too much, Debo. You know, just stick to the students. But you said no, Tressa. I got a passion for the veterans and the students because I have been in both situations. And what I can't do, I can't cheat no more. I'm gonna sit here.
Mm-hmm.
God giving me the ability, like He said, He gives you the ability to produce wealth. He also gives you the ability to go out here and impact, inspire, encourage, and motivate others. So, what is your why?
Man, that's crazy you say that. Let me this is my why right here. Let me give y'all a close up on this. This is my why. My why. This is why I breathe. This is why I get up in the morning. This is why I do anything I need to do because I did not have a father growing up. And I want my son to know that I'm doing everything for him. I want him to know that if there's anything he needs, any advice, not just monetary, any advice, whatever, that he can call on me. So this is my why. And I'm here to tell everybody, you have to realize what your why is. Why are you getting up in the morning? Why are you chasing something that seems like it's never going to come every single day? Why are you breathing? You have to find your why. And I promise you, once you attach your why to what you're doing, good things will come out of it. it's crazy. Logan said this, and it resonated with me so well. He said, we all want to be six-figure speakers or six-figure entrepreneurs or whatever you want to do, you want to make six figures, but we're not a six-figure person.
Ooh,
You know what
come
I'm saying? You're not a six-figure person, so you have to become the right person. So whatever your why is, find out what it is, attach it to whatever you're trying to do, and I promise you, you will spend the rest of your life going after it to make sure that my little man will succeed in whatever he needs to do. And I love this little guy to death, man. I promise you. Like, look at that smile right there. Come on now, where my camera at? Look at that smile right there.
Oh, I can't wait when he get older. He gonna see this video.
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
you know what's crazy when I bring you back for part 2 because you coming back. We gotta have him on camera.
oh
We
yeah.
gotta
I'm
have
gonna make
him.
sure I have him. I'm gonna make sure I have him with me. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's so amazing. Oh man, whew. Oh Lord, you got me holding back some tears over
That's
here.
my man. That's my man. The reason we don't execute a lot is because it's not meaningful enough to us. So you gotta attach that why to it to make it meaningful to you. And I promise you, man, just watch what happens. Just watch what
Wow.
happens.
So watch what happens. What's in store for 2024 for you? What we got coming up?
Oh man, 2024 is about to be crazy. One thing I want to say to people is, you got to celebrate the small wins. Everybody want to be at a level of what they see somebody doing, but they don't understand what they went through.
That part.
You gotta celebrate those small wins because whatever small step it takes to move the needle, that's what it takes. And I always say, like, there's no time limit on it. So quit worrying about how long it's going to take because you're going to worry yourself to death worrying about how long it's going to take because guess what? Nobody knows. Whatever you want to do, if God told you what the end result was,
Come on.
you wouldn't go through the process. He know the end result, but you got to go through the process to get to it. So 2024 is about to be huge for me, man. I'm about to get into these schools heavily. I'm coming up with a curriculum for veterans and student athletes, right?
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Like I ain't playing with it. So I'm about to plug myself in real quick. Check this out. Hear me. Hear me. I'm an author now. It's still, this is my first sample copy, still an editing version, but my first sample copy. Got a few more covers I want to play with. But I'm looking around about hopefully August time frame. My goal is November 20th. That's my birthday, of course. But nah, I'm not doing it. I need to get this out now because my people need this. So it's called D.E.B.O mentality, the blueprint to overcoming adversity and unleash the champion within you. And it's going to give you, like I said, we're going to do a deep dive in those 4 guiding principles, what it's taking my life to the next level. So yeah, it's not out yet, but it's coming. If you want a copy, just hit me up in a direct DM in my IG, and then we'll get you covered. So good things in store. I'm working, I got a partner I'm working with. I want to create a nonprofit organization back in my hometown because my hometown needs it. It needs it. And it's going to be to just help some of these kids where, if they don't have nothing to do when they get out of school, we can have some activities for them where they could come to this facility, trying to keep them out the streets, trying to keep them in check, keep them out of trouble. Because I wish I had more of that growing up because everybody don't play sports. If you don't play sports, what are you doing? Some of us, we run it, we go get in trouble. So I'm working on creating a nonprofit organization for my babies back home, man. And then not only there, I'm trying to take it worldwide. So it's a lot coming 2024. So y'all be on the lookout.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm just so glad I'm connected with you.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got some things in store too. Now.
Told you. Listen, I got great connections out here in the DMV. I already said, listen, I know I do the thing with the leadership and confidence coaching, but them veterans, yeah, they need you.
Oh yeah.
They need you. And so let me tell y'all something. In this season, y'all, if you don't take nothing else, and y'all got a lot of nuggets tonight, but I want you to remember this. It's collaboration over competition.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes as entrepreneurs and business owners or speakers, coaches, consultants, or whatever you are, a lot of times you want to just be solo. But you ready for this? In order to succeed on that next level, you got to be connected to somebody. Yeah. I don't even like the word solopreneur. And people say, I'm a solopreneur. Well, solopreneur is going to get you burnt out real fast. It's going to get you frustrated, agitated, aggravated. And before you know it, you're going to be like, forget this. It ain't working. Well, it ain't working because you're doing it by yourself. And so I'm so happy and honored to be connected. It was a reason why I went to this conference last year, and just to be,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like you guys are family. We not blood relatives, but y'all are family. And the fact that everybody I've interviewed just been willing to just come up and interview. And I already said I'm manifesting a Convicted to Grow conference at the National Harbor. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. And just be
It's coming.
ready to get on stage with me because listen, it's about impact, it's about change. And so um I always ask every guest 60 seconds or less. What does Convicted to Grow mean to you?
Convicted to grow means to me is one, mindset. Get your mindset corrected. Get your mindset in check because in order for you to become the person you are need to be, you have to be mentally stable. Look at yourself in the mirror. How can you go and affect change when you aren't healed, when you aren't who you're supposed to be? So become the best version of yourself. Whatever you have to do, do it. Because in order for you to affect change, you have to be healed. You have to be changed. So mindset and mentality, that's what convicted to grow means to me. Because once you become the best person you can be, there's so much out there that's in store for you. And relationships are power. Relationships are power. People don't buy product, they buy people.
Mm,
I'm gonna say that one more time. People don't buy product. Nobody's going to buy this just because it's a book out there, they want to read it. They're going to buy this because they believe in me. And the only way for people to get your product and believe in you, you have to become the best version of yourself and do the work. So that's what convict to grow means to me, man. I'm real big on mindset and mentality because those are some of the gaps in this world that a lot of people don't talk about.
that part. Y'all heard it here. Make sure you guys follow him at D.E.B.O Inspires. He's on IG, he's on TikTok, he's on Facebook, he's putting the content out there, and he's on YouTube as well. Please go follow him. And listen, if you go follow him, don't just go follow him. Go to one of his posts or reels, and I want you to put in the comment section of one of his posts hashtag convicted to grow. Okay. If you put hashtag convicted to grow and he lets me know, me and him may go live one day with all the people who commented on his post, hashtag convicted to grow, and we may do a drawing. We do a cash app drawing or a free book or something, free shirt. But you got to go out and don't just follow. Go and check out one of his content because I mean he got some gems and he shows you the day in life as a speaker, talking to the kids, him on stage speaking, giving nuggets to adults. Like he's doing his thing, and so please make sure you follow him and tag hashtag convicted to grow when you do it. So I'm definitely excited for that. Um, I mean, how you feeling?
I feel great, man. Anytime I get the chance to bless the people, I'm always feeling good. I appreciate you having me here. Blessing your community. Hey, we got some good things coming up, Tress. I'm telling you, we got some good things,
You
man.
better speak it. You better
Yeah,
speak it.
this ain't the last time they heard of us. So I'm
I
gonna say
said
this. Hey, get it now before prices go up.
what Fat Joe said. What he said? He said today's price. Today's price said yesterday's price.
That's it.
Listen, y'all.
Yesterday's prices ain't today's prices.
That part. And I always say this season I'm in, my assignment that I'm in now is in my alignment, meaning that I can't just be accessible to everybody. I can't just connect to everybody because everybody ain't gonna see the vision they have in
Hmm.
me. There are some people in life that want to connect with you for their own ill will intentions, right? There are some people that just want to be just just leeching on to whatever it is, but they're not adding value. He said it here tonight, y'all. You're gonna have to cut off some folks. That cutoff season is just what's going to propel you to your next level. That cutoff season, and I hate to say this, sometimes it's family and friends. Sometimes
Hmm.
it's family and friends. It doesn't mean you don't love them no more, but right now in this season, you gotta like make yourself a priority. Why? Because you matter. Your destiny matter. Your vision matter. Everything that God's been putting in your mind at nighttime that you've been sleeping on matters. And in order for you to do that, you got to separate yourself so you can elevate yourself. And so, with that being said, y'all, listen, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Convicted to Grow. If you are on social media, make sure you go follow my IG, my TikTok, my Facebook at Coach Tressa as well. Make sure that if you are listening to this via audio, you rate the show, comment on the show. Make sure you are subscribed to the alerts. We come every Friday with a new guest, with a new story, with a new gem, and all that good stuff. I know that what God got for him in this season, it's gonna blow his mind. And I don't say it to a lot of people, but it's gonna blow his mind. So we get ready to go into second quarter. I don't even think he even knows because I feel it, but I don't even think he knows. I'm proud of you, man. I'm really proud
I
of you.
appreciate it.
A dope brother, great father, great friend, great speaker, and just keep doing your thing. Keep surrounding yourself on the level you're trying to go, and just watch God blow your mind in 2024. And so, with that being said, y'all remember this: growth is a daily thing. Every day you wake up, strive to be the better version of yourself. Just keep going, keep striving, keep thriving, and just know this: you are destined for greatness. You are purpose driven. You are naturally dynamic. You are awesome. In case somebody didn't tell you today, look in the mirror and tell yourself, I got what it takes to win. And with that being said, I'll see you next time. Love you.